Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the Glam Polish Chillin' Like a Villain collection. There are 10 polishes here altogether, all based off of Disney villains. So these are available right now. I will link the Glam Polish website down below, and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called the Magnificent, Marvelous, Mad Madam Mim, and this is described as a periwinkle crelly with strong aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter. I see a very red, I guess, or pink, depending on how you look at it, shimmer in this one. So the first coat is a bit sheer here. The shimmer is already standing out pretty nicely, and good formula on this one. So this one does start to build up a bit on that second coat, but I can still see some nail line. The shimmer seems to stand out a little bit better after it's fully dry, and it does dry a little bit dull, so you will want top coat. So this one does build up pretty well on that third coat. I can't see any nail line with it myself, but I feel like if I had a very white nail line, a little bit might still show through. The holographic sparkle that's in here does seem to dry relatively smooth, but like I mentioned on the last coat, the polish itself does dry dull, so you will want top coat for that. So that is 3 coats of the Magnificent, Marvelous, Mad Madam Mim. The next polish is No One's Slick as Gaston, and this is described as a bright red-orange crelly with strong aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter. And the shimmer in here is a very, very bright gold. So this one is also a little sheer on that first coat. It will definitely take another coat and getting that red built up a little bit before the shimmer stands out nicely. And good formula on this. So this one does start to build up in color on, well, I guess, and opacity on that second coat, but I can still see a pretty decent amount of nail line. Don't think the camera is going to show it very well. The gold shimmer is also building up pretty nicely. Like the last polish, this one does dry dull, so you will want top coat. There is holographic glitter in there, but just like the last polish, there's not a ton of it, so it feels relatively smooth. It's not going to be like full-blown textured polish, but you're still going to want top coat. And again, because it's a little more sparse, it shouldn't be too difficult to remove. You might have a little bit of resistance. So I am going to add a third coat here just to cover up that last bit of nail line. It doesn't change the color too much. You might be able to get away with 2 here, but I think you're more likely to need 3, just depending on the length of your nails. Very, very short nails could probably get away with 2. So that is 3 coats of No One's Slick as Gaston. The next polish is Mother Knows Best, which is described as a cranberry crelly with strong aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter. And the shimmer in this one looks kind of orange/gold, depending on the angle. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat. The shimmer in here contrasts really, really well with the base color, so even on that first coat it's standing out really nicely. And good formula on this one as well. So this one does start to build up on that second coat. I'm going to let this one fully dry before I call it because I really can't see, I really can't see a lot of nail line after this second coat, but I'm going to let it dry completely in case it dries a little bit more sheer. So I am going to do a third coat with this one. Opacity-wise, it just barely needed it. There were very few spots on only a couple of nails where the nail line was showing through. But, as you can see, the color does get a bit deeper after that third coat. And like all the other ones so far, this does dry dull, so you will want top coat. So that is 3 coats of Mother Knows Best. The next polish is called Go On Have a Bite, and this is described as a bright grape purple with iridescent flakes, aurora shimmer, and ultra hollow glitter. And the shimmer in this one looks very green to gold to me. It is a little bit hard to pick out in the bottle anyway because of those flakies. It's kind of freaking my eyes out a little bit. So this one is also a little bit sheer on that first coat. You do have to apply this a little bit differently. I'm trying to make sure that I get some of those flakies evenly spaced, even though that's not super important on the first coat. Just don't want them to all deposit towards my cuticle where the first place that I set my brush down is. I want to be able to drag them towards the end of my nail a little bit. And a good formula on this one as well. So this does start to build up pretty well on that second coat. This is another one that I'm going to let dry completely before I call it. It might be okay for me today in 2, but I believe I did do 3 coats in my swatch photos, but I tend to do an extra coat there just in case. This does dry dull, so you will want top coat, and those flakies, they're not textured like a lot of glitter would be, but there is a little bit of something to them, so you will want top coat for that as well. And I am kind of hoping that there's enough going on with the flakes in this polish that you won't be able to pick out any nail line after this coat is dry. So I am adding a third coat to this one. As soon as I turned the camera off after that second coat and took a look at it, I could see some bald spots towards the ends of my nails. So definitely a candidate for a third coat. A lot of that comes down to my application though, so I think depending on your application and the thickness of your coats, you might be able to get away with two. And these flakies really glow very nicely through this base color. I like how this looks. So that is 3 coats of Go On Have a Bite. The next polish is called Friends on the Other Side, and this is described as a dark plum jelly with iridescent flakies, ultra hollow glitter, metallic purple glitter, and neon pink glitter. So this one covers pretty well on that first coat. It does take a bit of manipulation and a lot of putting polish back in the bottle to make sure that I don't have too much on my nail and that I'm trying to spread this glitter out evenly. Like I say though, I don't really think that matters too much on the first coat. Good formula on this one. It is going to feel just slightly thicker than the other polishes because there is a lot more glitter in here. So the color, the base color on this one really starts to deepen up on that second coat, and it makes all that glitter that's in there stand out really nicely as well. Because there is a lot of glitter going on here. I'm not sure I will need a second coat for this one either. I believe I only did 2 for my photos. But also, because there is a lot of glitter going on in here, it is definitely going to dry with the textured feel that you're going to want to smooth out with top coat, and that glitter will stick to the nail when you remove the polish. So you might end up needing 3 coats with this one. I think if you have a very white nail line, you might need a third coat to hide that. Mine's not super white, so it doesn't stand out as much through the jelly base in this polish. So that is 2 coats of Friends on the Other Side. The next polish is called It Won't Cost Much, Just Your Voice, and this is described as a dark ink purple jelly with iridescent flakies, aurora shimmer, ultra hollow glitter, and neon blue glitter mix. The shimmer in here does look very orange to me, but it's not really strong like it was in the first 3 polishes that didn't have any flakies in them. So this one is a little bit sheer on that first coat. It is in a jelly base, but it's a really dark jelly. This polish does go on just a little bit smoother than the last one because it doesn't have as much large glitter in it. Not large, that's not the word I'm looking for. Thick. Thick glitter, bulky glitter, and good formula on this one as well. So this one is looking pretty good on that second coat. It is a pretty dark jelly base, so it's not surprising that it would build up in 2. Try to get, there we go. I had a flaky on the end of my brush and I wanted it on that nail. You can see the color, it does get very, very dark after that second coat is added, and those flakies and that blue glitter stand out a lot better also once the polish is super dark. You will have a bit of texture from both the glitter and the flakes, so you will want top coat to smooth it out and to add some shine because it does dry dull. And hopefully you can see it on camera. I actually totally forgot that there was shimmer in this polish because I really couldn't see it in the first coat, but that orange shimmer is standing out really nicely after that second coat has deepened it as well. So that is 2 coats of It Won't Cost Much, Just Your Voice. The next polish is called the Mistress of All Evil, and this is described as a black jelly with a hint of blue. Iridescent flakies, neon purple glass flecks, ultra hollow glitter, and metallic purple glitter mix. So on this first coat you can see what they're talking about with the black jelly base with a hint of blue. It's kind of this like murky color. I like it. And I am seeing a lot of those flakes in that glitter. I think those are going to stand out a lot better once the base color has deepened. Little bit of manipulation to get those spread out on the nail, but not terrible. And good formula on this one. So this one is starting to deepen a bit, but I can still see a good amount of my nail line, and I feel like that base color is just a little bit too sheer still. All of the additional elements that are in this polish do seem to be standing out pretty nicely as it deepens, especially that silver glitter. I'm just going to tap that flaky back into place. And you will definitely have texture with this one once it's fully dry, so you will want top coat to smooth that out, and then also to add some shine back because it is going to dry a bit dull. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats. You might even be able to get away with 2 if you're not picky. I just feel like I wanted that really, really dark base, so I added the third to fill in some bald spots. I don't know if you can see on that dry nail here the texture that it dried with. So you will definitely want top coat, which I believe I already mentioned. So that is 3 coats of the Mistress of All Evil. So the next polish is called the Return of Jafar, and this is described as a magenta gold green multichrome with shifting multichrome flakies and ultra hollow glitter. Almost messed that one up. Some might say I did mess that one up. So this has a multichrome base to it, but it is a very sheer multichrome base. So that does start to slowly build up as you apply the polish. You can see it's looking pretty red here on camera. And then a good amount of flakies and glitter along with it. And good formula on this one as well. This actually doesn't take as much manipulation to spread those flakies out as the other flaky polishes that I've already shown, because these multichrome flakies are a little bit lighter and they glide with the polish better. So this one does start to build up pretty well on that second coat. I can still see a bit of nail line. Really not that much though. I think you could probably also use this as a topper. I think it would look really cool over black because it would make that, for like one coat over black would make that first layer of multichrome base stand out really well. But I'm liking this on its own as well. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats, really close in 2. I just had a few lighter spots that I did want to cover up. And you will get a little bit of texture out of those flakies and that glitter that's in there, so you will want top coat. And just for funsies, I put 1 coat over black here, and I feel like it actually doesn't look that different than the 3 coats on its own. Yeah, I guess so. A little bit darker, but I don't feel like it's that big of a difference. So that's an option also. So that is 3 coats of the Return of Jafar. The next polish is I'm Surrounded by Idiots, and this is a holographic base with a mix of shifting multichrome flakes and copper ultra hollow glitter. So this is another one that I think could be used as a topper. I will show it over black since I already have that nail wheel out. It is pretty dense in the flakies department though, so it will build up pretty nicely. Good formula on this one, and that holographic base is pretty dense as well. It's definitely not a subtle holographic base. So this one is starting to build up pretty well on that second coat. I'm still going to do a third, but there are a lot of flakies in here, which is really helping build it up. And you will have a little bit of texture here as well. Not a ton, because multichrome flakies are fairly light and flat, but when there's this many of them, you will have a little bit of texture. So this one will cover mostly in 3 coats. I am just covering up a little bit of nail line here. If you look very closely and really want to study it, you might be able to pick some nail line or some gaps out through those flakies, but it's not going to be very obvious. And again, you will want top coat. And here it is in 1 coat over black. That black base makes the holographic base of the polish stand out really strongly. So that is 3 coats of I'm Surrounded by Idiots. And the last polish is called I'm the Overlord of the Underworld, and this is a holographic base with holographic flakies, sapphire shimmer, charcoal, silver, and pewter ultra hollow glitter. So this does have a pretty dense holographic base, but I do think this is another one that you could use as a topper. I will show it over black. The glitters that are in here do spread themselves out really nicely, so I'm not having to do much manipulation to get them where I want. A little bit, but not a ton, and that's probably just me being picky. The shimmer looks pretty purple to me. When I think sapphire, I think like very blue, but it does look more purple to me. And good formula. So the holographic base in this is building up really well, again, because it was pretty dense. Now the base itself has a lot of flakies in it, so it's not going to be super textured. None of that silver is going to dry textured, but you will get some texture from those darker glitters that are in there. So you will want top coat. I have way too much polish on this nail. The purpley shimmer that's in there is definitely there, but it is a little bit more subtle. Because it has such a light background, it's not going to pop really brightly against it, but it's definitely there. I did 3 coats of this for my swatch photos, but I'm going to call this one in 2. If I look very closely at my pointer finger, I have a little bit of nail line, but there's so much going on here that I don't think it's worth a 3rd coat to cover that little tiny bit up. So here is 1 coat of this one over black. You can see it looks very nice. I think the shimmer stands out a little bit better over the black. It just depends on what look you're going for. So that is 2 coats of I'm the Overlord of the Underworld. So I think my favorite is going to be Friends on the Other Side. I just really, really like this deep vampy base. The flakies and that really bright pink glitters stand out really well in that jelly base. It just looks like everything's glowing from underneath that base. So really like that one. So that is the Glam Polish Chillin' Like a Villain collection. Again, I will link that website down below because those are available right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.